Samantha sat in her favorite coffee shop, the warm aroma of freshly brewed coffee swirling around her. As she stirred her cappuccino, she thought about stepping back into the world of dating. It had been a while since her last relationship, and the memory of that heartbreak still lingered in her mind. She remembered how painful it was to let go of someone she had cared for deeply. It had taken time for her to heal, and now, as she watched couples laugh and share stories, a mix of excitement and fear bubbled within her. The idea of dating again stirred hope in her heart, but doubts filled her mind. What if I get hurt again, she thought. What if I'm not ready? Those questions chased each other around her head as she remembered her last relationship, which had turned toxic. She had learned that healthy love should make you feel safe and valued, not anxious or small. This knowledge pushed her to change how she viewed love. She wanted to find something real, something that made her feel good about herself. With a newfound determination, Samantha decided to explore modern dating methods to find that connection. Friends had told her about dating apps, so she downloaded a popular one and filled out her profile. She made sure to choose photos that reflected her true self, smiling and enjoying life, not someone trying to fit a mold. But with every swipe, a little voice inside her wondered if she was measuring up to societal expectations. The pressure to find the one weighed heavily, yet she was determined to challenge those feelings. Today, as she settled into her routine of online dating, she remembered to take things slowly. Samantha chose to engage with people who made her feel good during their chats, keeping her standards high but her approach playful. She replied to messages with a smile, knowing that each interaction was a chance to learn more about herself and others. By facing her fears openly and honestly, she hoped to navigate this new chapter in her life with courage and joy. She told herself that it was okay to be scared but not to let fear hold her back. Each day was an opportunity for growth, and with every small step she took in the dating world, she felt a little braver. Whether it was going out with someone new, having a silly chat on the app, or simply getting to know herself better in the process, Samantha welcomed the journey. She knew that love might feel different this time, but she held on to hope that the right person was out there, waiting for her with an open heart. As Samantha dove deeper into the dating scene, the initial thrill of meeting new people began to fade. What had felt like a fun adventure started turning into a tiring cycle. She found herself staring at her phone for hours, scrolling through matches and wondering if she would ever find anyone who truly connected with her. The excitement of swiping brought new dates, but excitement quickly slipped away after the first meetings. She felt drained. With each new date, Samantha hoped for a spark, a feeling that made her heart race. Sometimes she felt it, but other times, there were awkward silences and forced conversations. It was becoming difficult to rely on her instincts when they had led her to many dead ends. Each time a date ended without a second meeting, she struggled with feelings of disappointment. Why did things not go as planned? Was she really putting herself out there, or was she just going through the motions? She started experiencing what felt like dating fatigue. The constant cycle of getting ready and having to make small talk left her exhausted. She longed for something more meaningful but grew weary of the same tired routine. Mixing with strangers in hopes of finding love began to take its toll on her emotional well-being. Samantha felt a mix of sadness and doubt creeping into her thoughts. She often asked herself why she was trying so hard. Is there something wrong with me? She began to wonder. She struggled to shake that thought and pushed it aside. Yet, the doubt lingered, whispering that maybe finding love was never meant to happen for her. As she kept swiping left and right on dating apps, she battled with confusion over mixed signals. Conversations often started with excitement only to dwindle down to silence after just a few messages. One moment, she felt assured that a date was going well, and the next, she was left questioning why the other person had disappeared. This pattern played out again and again, creating a cycle of hope followed by disappointment. Each mix-up stung, making her question the purpose of her efforts. Does anyone really want a genuine connection anymore? She thought. Despite the setbacks, Samantha recalled the reasons she started dating again. She wanted love, yet navigating through the emotional highs and lows proved confusing. Yet, she had to remind herself that it was okay to feel scared and uncertain. Even though she felt trapped in this endless whirlwind, she chose to believe that taking risks would ultimately bring her closer to what she was looking for. She realized that learning through each experience was part of the journey, no matter how difficult it seemed. Spending time with friends helped boost her spirits. They encouraged her to share her dating experiences, both strange and funny. "You're brave for putting yourself out there," one friend told her. Their support was precious, reminding her that she wasn't alone in this journey. With laughter and comfort coming from her friends, she started reframing her thoughts. Instead of focusing on the failures of her dates, she hung on to the funny moments and lessons learned during each encounter. Though the path of modern dating was filled with bumps and turns, Samantha began to feel a flicker of hope. Through her struggles and doubt, she learned to embrace every piece of the journey. Ultimately, it was about self-discovery, no matter the outcome. Finding joy in small moments of connection, laughter, and learning made each step worth taking. After several ups and downs in her dating journey, Samantha finally met Ben. He seemed like the perfect match. They chatted effortlessly online and quickly set up a date. When they met in person, it felt almost magical. Ben was charming, witty, and genuinely interested in her life. Samantha felt a spark she hadn't experienced in a long time. For the first time in months, the doubts that had clouded her mind faded as she enjoyed their time together. During their dates, they shared stories about their lives and joked about their mutual love for pizza. They even discovered they both loved hiking, drawing them closer. Samantha felt a growing connection with Ben, seeing in him what she had hoped to find in someone: kindness, humor, and warmth. As the days turned into weeks, she allowed herself to dream about what this relationship could be. She felt a spark of confidence, gently reminding herself that she was bringing her best self into this new chapter. However, as they continued dating, subtle differences began to emerge. While Samantha craved a deeper commitment, longing for a partner who wanted to build a future together, Ben seemed more focused on enjoying the moment. "Why can't we just keep having fun?" he would say, laughing off the times when their conversations turned serious. At first, Samantha brushed it off as part of his laid-back nature. Yet, as their relationship progressed, it became clear that Ben was not looking for the same type of connection she desired. This realization hit Samantha hard. It felt like the wind had been knocked out of her. She had to pause and question her understanding of what she truly wanted in a relationship. Did she need someone to share her dreams with for the future? Was she putting too much pressure on Ben? The contrasting views on love soon filled her mind with insecurities. The fear of being alone crept back in, and she couldn't help but wonder if she was making a mistake by wanting more than Ben was willing to give. As those competing desires chafed at her heart, Samantha found herself feeling confused. It was both exciting and troubling to think about commitment. She thought of all those moments they had enjoyed together, and yet, she also saw the gap growing between them. Deciding to speak up, Samantha mustered her courage and expressed her feelings during one of their weekend hikes. She talked openly about how important commitment was to her and hoped he might share those aspirations too. Ben listened but ultimately shrugged it off. "Let's just enjoy what we have right now," he said with a smile. His carefree nature seemed appealing at first but now felt like a wall separating their wants. Samantha's heart sank as she heard those words, realizing they were going in two different directions. This moment challenged her to think about what she truly needed. She spent time reflecting on her emotions, digging deep into her heart, mixed with gratitude for the good times but also with pain for the reality that was starting to unfold. Through her growing awareness, she learned something valuable: wanting a serious partnership was okay, and it was worth the fight to find someone aligned with her values. By embracing these small wins within herself, she began to find more confidence in what she desired. As weeks passed, with a clearer mindset, Samantha accepted that not every date would lead to love but promised herself she would not settle for anything less than what her heart truly wanted. With each step, she reminded herself that love should be exciting and fulfilling. She gained strength from understanding her needs while recognizing the importance of remaining true to her values and desires, even in the midst of uncertainty. Driven by her growing confidence, Samantha was ready to take on whatever lay ahead, believing in the power of her journey to find meaningful connections. As weeks turned into months, Samantha found herself at a crossroads. The fun and laughter she had shared with Ben were still fresh in her mind, but the reality of their differences loomed larger each day. With each passing date, she felt increasingly torn. Could she keep compromising for the sake of the relationship, or was it time to stand firm in what she needed? This question tugged at her heart, creating a storm of emotions. One evening, as they enjoyed dinner at their favorite Italian restaurant, Samantha could sense the tension building. They talked easily about everything from work to travel, but when the topic shifted to their future, she felt a shift as well. Bringing it up felt risky, but she needed clarity. Summoning her courage, she asked Ben, "What do you see for us in the future?" His eyes danced with amusement, as he smiled and replied, "Can't we just see where life takes us? I don't want to rush anything." At those words, a knot formed in her stomach. She wanted so much more than drifting along. As Ben spoke, she felt a wave of frustration wash over her. His carefree attitude was exciting, yet her heart ached because it did not align with her desire for a deeper connection. The contrasts felt more pronounced than ever, surfacing as a reality that pressed against her like heavy weights. The realization hit her hard. She had envisioned a future that included love built on trust and commitment, where goals and dreams harmonized with those of a partner. Yet, with Ben, she was not sure what tomorrow would bring. Remembering the powerful conversations with her friends, she couldn't shake the notion that she needed to be true to herself. Her thoughts began to shift, and she saw clearly the importance of having personal boundaries, a concept she had struggled with initially. Could it be that my desire for a meaningful connection is worth standing up for? She asked herself. She thought about the times she felt good about her decisions to express her needs, like the small moments of self-affirmation she had gained along the way. Slowly, the realization blossomed that each time she voiced her feelings, she was not only making her needs known but also standing strong in her own identity. Every heart-to-heart conversation with Ben had pushed her to think harder about what love meant for her. With those realizations swirling in her mind, Samantha knew she couldn't keep convincing herself that Ben's view on relationships would eventually change. Compromise after compromise was wearing her down like a fading dream. What if I wait forever hoping he will want what I want? She thought, grappling with the fear of losing what they had. But the greater fear was stifling herself and settling for less than she deserved. The moment arrived when she knew she had to speak up again. It was now or never. They needed to confront the divide between them. As Samantha shifted on her chair and took a deep breath, she felt stronger, owning her truth. "Ben, I need to talk about what I want," she began. "I like you, but I also need a clear understanding of our future. I don't want to lose sight of what I dream about." Hearing her own words sparked a release of tension in Samantha. She understood that she deserved to share her vision of love, no matter how different it was from his. With her heart racing, she braced herself for Ben's response. Whatever happened next, she stood firm in knowing that being honest with herself was the first step in reshaping her journey toward finding the love she truly sought. Samantha felt her heart pound in her chest as she prepared for the conversation with Ben. Sitting across from him, the chatter of the restaurant faded into the background, leaving only the sound of her racing thoughts. She could feel the weight of her words pressing on her shoulders. This conversation could change everything. With her hands clasped tightly together, she took a deep breath and broke the silence. "Ben," she started, her voice shaking slightly, "I really like you. But I need to talk about something important." As she spoke, she noticed Ben's smile fade just a little, like he sensed the seriousness in her tone. He nodded but remained quiet, giving her the space to continue. Samantha gathered her thoughts. "I've realized that we see things very differently when it comes to love and what we want for the future. And that's made me feel confused." She looked into his eyes, hoping to find understanding. I don't want to be the only one looking for a serious relationship. I want to know if you want that too. Ben leaned back in his chair, a frown forming on his brow. I like spending time with you, Samantha, but I'm not in a place where I want to rush into anything. Can't we just enjoy the moment? His words struck her like a sudden gust of wind. With the weight of his response pressing down on her, Samantha felt frustration bubbling up. But what if enjoying the moment means we're not really going anywhere? I don't want to waste my time or yours if we want such different things. A tension filled the air, and for a moment, it felt as though the world around them stopped. Ben's expression hardened. You're getting way ahead of yourself. Can't you just trust that we can figure this out as we go along? Each word felt like a hurdle she had to jump over. Samantha realized they were in completely different thoughts without any agreement in sight. The more they talked, the harder it became to stay calm. Samantha expressed her need for commitment, painting a picture of her hope for a future based on trust and closeness. But Ben seemed to stay stuck, unable to see the same path ahead. She began to feel a chilling sense of defeat. Do we want the same thing? She thought, desperately hoping they could find common ground. In that moment of sadness, a flicker of clarity emerged. I've avoided speaking up for so long, thinking it would protect us, Samantha reflected internally. The risks of confronting him rang clear. There was a possibility she could scare him away or shatter the bond they had worked to build. But she also knew that staying silent would only lead to her own heartache down the line. Facing Ben, she felt a sense of power in her truth. I need more than this, she finally admitted, letting her vulnerability show. And if you can't give me that, then perhaps this isn't right for either of us. As she spoke those words, a weight lifted off her chest. Samantha realized that regardless of the outcome, she was honoring her own needs. Ben's tension seemed to ease slightly, but he still looked conflicted. I don't want to lose you, Samantha. But I'm not ready for what you are looking for, he said quietly. Despite the sadness hanging between them, Samantha felt a relief in having made her feelings known. The conversation had opened a door, showing her bravery in valuing her own feelings while navigating the risks of vulnerability. In that moment, regardless of where they would end up, Samantha saw the importance of standing firm and trusting herself. This honest talk illuminated the journey ahead, revealing the path she had to walk, one that was aligned with her truth. Samantha felt as if she was standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down into an unknown future. After the intense conversation with Ben, she knew she had to make a choice, and it weighed heavily on her heart. Ben was sweet and fun, but he wasn't willing to meet her needs for a deeper, committed relationship. She couldn't shake the question, what did she truly want for her life and love? As the days passed after their talk, the weight of her decision settled in. Joyful moments shared with Ben played in her mind, but they were now clouded by the realization that those moments did not guarantee a future. It hurt to think about letting go of someone she cared about, but staying in a relationship that lacked what she needed felt like giving up on herself. Samantha reflected on her past. She remembered the heartbreaks and times wasted on relationships that didn't fulfill her. All those experiences had directed her toward wanting something real, something aligned with her values. She took a long, deep breath and closed her eyes, imagining what her life could be like if she chose to walk away. The thought felt frightening yet liberating. That evening, Samantha decided to sit down with her journal, a tool that had helped her unlock her feelings many times before. As she wrote, she found clarity. What am I sacrificing if I stay? Flashed in her mind. She realized staying with Ben meant sacrificing her vision of love, her standards of what she deserved. That was something she was not prepared to do anymore. The stakes were high. If she chose to stay, Samantha risked getting lost in a relationship that was bound to leave her unsatisfied and hurt. But if she walked away, she could open the door to healthier relationships that aligned with her desires. The uncertainty filled her with anxiety, but it also filled her with a renewed sense of hope. With her heart pounding, the next time they met, she asked to talk again. She could tell that Ben knew she had been thinking deeply about their discussion. As they sat across from each other, she took a deep breath and felt the warmth of her convictions surge inside her. "Ben," she began, ready to lay everything on the table one last time. "I've been thinking a lot about us," she said, her voice steady. "I feel small when I think about staying in a relationship that doesn't align with my needs. I care about you, but I need more than this." Each word brought a surge of strength, and she felt proud for standing up for herself. Ben frowned, looking hurt. "You're pushing me away by talking like this," he replied softly. "I thought we were doing fine." As his words hung in the air, Samantha could see how much he cared but also how much he was unwilling to change. "Maybe we are fine, but I need depth, commitment, and honesty about where we are headed," she explained gently. "If you can't give me that, then I have to walk away for my own peace of mind." In that moment, Samantha recognized the importance of her decision. It was a turning point, one that required courage but also wisdom. She needed to let go of the fear of being alone because the potential for a fulfilling love meant so much more than simply avoiding loneliness. With tears in their eyes, they both understood that letting go was necessary for them to pursue their futures authentically. The choice felt freeing to Samantha as she left the restaurant, knowing she had taken a definitive step toward nurturing her happiness. She stepped out into a world filled with possibilities, ready to embrace healthier dating experiences and environments that aligned with her true self. With each step she took, she felt excitement woven into her heart, not just at the thought of new relationships, but at the road to self-love and growth she was now fully set on walking. After walking away from Ben, Samantha found a mix of relief and sadness wash over her. The decision felt monumental, and now that it was made, she sat in a quiet park, surrounded by the whispers of the trees and the laughter of children playing. As she observed the vibrant world around her, she couldn't help but dive deeper into her thoughts. The transformation that had taken place within her felt profound, and it was time to reflect on what she had learned throughout her dating journey. First and foremost, Samantha discovered the importance of knowing herself. Throughout her time with Ben, she realized that she had lost sight of her own needs by trying to fit into a relationship that didn't serve her best interests. She had spent too long navigating through a haze of doubts and compromises. Now, with the sun shining down on her, she embraced the power that came from recognizing her worth. Each heartache and struggle had not been wasted, they had shaped her understanding of love, helping her grow into a person who prioritized her emotional well-being. As she reflected, memories of her victories began to rise to the surface. Samantha recalled the moments of courage when she had voiced her feelings and needs. They felt like stepping stones that had led her to this point. It was empowering to remember that she had chosen to speak up, refusing to settle for less. In learning to advocate for herself, she understood that love should not only be about joy and fun but also about mutual respect and shared dreams. She felt grateful for the lessons learned and how they shifted her perspective about what a healthy relationship should look like. Yet, as she sat in the park, there was that lingering touch of confusion. What came next? Would she ever find the type of love she desired after such a rocky path? Doubts crept back in, whispering uncertainty about the future. But Samantha gently pushed those thoughts aside, recognizing the value in the freedom she had just embraced. Walking away from Ben didn't mean walking away from love, it meant she was choosing to wait for something that truly resonated with her. Samantha thought of connections that went beyond surface-level interactions. She learned the rich beauty in waiting for someone who understood the rhythm of her heart and shared her values. The desire for a committed relationship was not a burden, it was a reflection of boldness. It sparked a new way of looking at dating, where her heart had room to dance freely, unbound by fears of being alone or rushing into choices that did not align with her true self. Feeling the warm sun on her face brought a sense of peace, washing away the shadows of doubt. She knew she had choices ahead. Even though the dating world felt complicated, she understood that not every experience needed to lead to love right away. Taking the time to know herself, to learn from each encounter, would allow her to emerge stronger and wiser for the road ahead. In the days to come, she resolved to embrace the journey forward with openness. Whether it meant dating again or taking time for herself, she now brought a clearer picture of what her heart desired. It was a new chapter filled with self-discovery and exploration. Empowered and hopeful, Samantha smiled to herself. She was ready to face the future, equipped with the lessons that taught her the true meaning of love. Her heart would guide her, and she was finally willing to listen. After her bold decision to end things with Ben, Samantha felt a mix of emotions swirling inside her. While relief washed over her as she left the weight of her past relationship behind, she recognized that her journey was far from over. To truly heal and embrace her newfound clarity, she decided it was important to take time for herself, focusing on rebuilding her confidence and self-worth. In the days that followed, Samantha indulged in moments of self-care. She started each morning with a warm cup of tea, allowing herself to savor the peaceful start of her day. Instead of rushing to check dating apps or diving into plans, she made a conscious choice to value her own company. She took long walks in the park, reconnecting with her thoughts and feelings. With each breath of fresh air she inhaled, she found herself growing more at ease. Samantha invested time in activities that brought her joy, from painting to journaling. She painted scenes that reflected her mood, capturing the ups and downs of emotions swirling in her heart. Each stroke of the brush became a means of healing. It allowed her to bring colors to her thoughts that had been darkened by confusion. Eventually, she began to see that these moments of creativity were a catalyst for reclaiming her sense of self. Through journaling, she documented her feelings, dreams, and aspirations. She wrote about the journey she had undertaken, the lessons she'd learned, and her hopes for the future. Each entry served as a reminder of how far she had come. As she spilled her thoughts onto the pages, she started to understand that her worth was not defined by her relationship status but by how she viewed and treated herself. In the quiet hours of her evenings, she practiced mindfulness, reflecting on her self-discovery. Affirmations became a daily ritual. She stood in front of the mirror and repeated encouraging words to herself, such as, "I am worthy of love and respect," and "I deserve a partner who aligns with my values." With time, she noticed a change in how she perceived herself. Where doubt had once whispered softly in her ear, confidence began to take its place. After weeks of mindful self-reflection, Samantha felt grounded. The vulnerability she had experienced cleared the path for a stronger, more confident version of herself. While she had initially contemplated taking a break from dating altogether, she sensed a desire to step cautiously back into the world with purpose. With her heart now full of clarity and self-assurance, Samantha chose to enter a new phase of dating, one shaped by a clearer understanding of her needs and boundaries. She wanted to ensure that future connections aligned with her values and enriched her life. Rather than hurrying to meet new people, she allowed herself the space to explore relationships slowly. When she re-entered the dating scene, she focused on quality over quantity, taking her time to get to know individuals on a deeper level. Maintaining open communication became her priority, expressing her needs from the start. Whenever she matched with someone, she welcomed discussions around values, goals, and dreams. Each small interaction became a powerful opportunity for growth. There were laughs shared over coffee, heartwarming conversations, and the occasional bumps in the road, but Samantha embraced each one as a step in her journey. The foundation she was building was no longer based on uncertainty but rooted in self-awareness and clarity. As time went on, Samantha felt grateful for her past experiences, acknowledging that they had led her to where she was now. She had emerged with confidence, ready to embrace love when the right moment came. With her heart open and her head held high, she continued her journey toward discovering love that would mirror the respect and fire she knew she deserved. As the weeks turned into months, Samantha felt a noticeable shift in herself. Each step she had taken after her breakup had transformed her in ways she never expected. She emerged from her journey not just stronger but also with a deeper understanding of who she was and what she wanted in life and love. The confidence that once felt fragile now stood firm within her, and she approached the dating world with fresh eyes. In her conversations with potential partners, Samantha noticed that she was no longer afraid to voice her needs. Instead of shying away from difficult topics, she welcomed them. With each new interaction, she gently reminded herself that highlighting what she wanted was not selfish, it was essential for building a healthy relationship. This change in mindset brought a sense of empowerment each time she expressed her feelings or set a boundary. She embraced new boundaries that reflected her values. Drawn from her previous experiences, Samantha was clear about what she would and wouldn't accept in future relationships. She understood that boundaries helped protect her emotional well-being and ensured that her relationships remained fulfilling. When a potential date blurred those lines or deflected her questions, she no longer hesitated to re-evaluate their compatibility. If someone was unwilling to meet her halfway, she recognized that it was okay to walk away. Moreover, Samantha approached dating with a spirit of curiosity rather than pressure. She released the notion that she needed to find the one immediately. Instead, she learned to appreciate each connection as a unique experience, focusing on getting to know people wholeheartedly without fear of expectations. As she interacted with different individuals, she discovered that every conversation and outing added to her growth and understanding of love. Her perspective on relationships transformed as well. After previously feeling anxious about commitments, Samantha now viewed them with excitement and hope. She understood that real love required deep understanding and mutual respect. With this newfound outlook, she was able to see the beauty in building meaningful connections over time. The prospect of engaging in a relationship was no longer filled with uncertainty. Instead, it felt like a wonderful opportunity for shared growth and joy. Her encouragement did not stop at her own journey. Samantha enjoyed sharing her experiences with friends. She became an active supporter who reminded them of the importance of self-worth and communication in their love lives. Each discussion revealed insights that reinforced her belief that everyone deserved meaningful, healthy connections. As she became a source of support, her confidence flourished. With every new date and friendship, she embraced her authentic self. Samantha learned to give herself grace when challenges arose. Instead of feeling defeated after a tough interaction, she viewed each experience as a necessary part of the journey toward the right relationship. Disappointments no longer felt like failures but rather lessons that shaped her understanding of love. Through reflections and experiences, Samantha carved out an approach to dating that resonated deeply with her growth. As she moved forward, she faced the dating world with optimism and an open heart. She had built a strong sense of self. Now, she could enter relationships feeling grounded and strong. No matter where her journey led her next, she understood one crucial thing: love, at its best, is a partnership where both people uplift and support each other. In her heart, there was a quiet resolve that whatever her next chapter held, she was prepared to embrace it with courage. She looked ahead, armed with the knowledge that she was worthy of love and capable of achieving the happiness she sought, and that simple realization was enough to light her path forward.